1, 2. Let's roll. I don't think we got very many today, do we? A couple hundred? 250? She had a big cow, ain't she? 120, 120, now 2.5, gonna be 2.5, gonna get 2.5, gonna be 2.5, 5 here, 25, 7.5, 7.5, 30, gonna get 32.5, gonna be 2.5, 5, and 35, 37.5, 37.5, gonna be 142.5, gonna be 2.5, 5, and 45, 47.5, 47.5, 47.5 here, 47.5, 50, $1.50 there and half, 50, gonna get 50, gonna get 50 here, Chris, 147.5, 5. Dollar pound. 105, and 105 here, good 105, we get 10, 15, 20, 125, we get 30, we get 5, we get 40, we get 45, 45, 45, 50, $1.50, we get 50, we get 50, we get 50, 45, we get 50 here at Cavness, 145 Bullocks. That it? Hi, Paul. Is that you? I guess it's not. Is that Paul West? Huh? Guess not. Okay. No, it is not him. He might be online. $1.50. $1.55 and 55, it gets 60, now 5, and to get about 70, 170, 170, 175, 75, give 80, 5, 85, 90, 95, and 95 and 2, you get 210, 210, 220, 230, 225, 30, and 35, you get 35, 40 here, 245, and 45, 50, you get 250, you get 255, and 50, 60, and 265, 65, 70, and 275, going to be 280, you get 280, you get 280, you get 280 here, so about 275, bow 9. Bo, you know Lydia? She don't know you. Bo. I think it's B-O. For 40 years it's been Bo. You've been called other things. Come on, Antone. Mm-hmm. Longhorn bull. $1.50. $1.55 and 55, you give out 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, half 5, and to get about 70, 170, 175, give 80, 85, 85, 90 here, 195 here, 195, and 95 here, 99, 2, and 200 a pound, good to be 205 here, 5 and 10, good to be 210, and 210 and 15 here, good to be 215, 20, and 220 pound, good to be 225 here, 5 here, sold them 220, put them on bow 9, same weight. Perfect. Got them both. Buck 35, 35, you give out 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 a hand, 37 a hand, 35, 37 a hand, 25, and 27 a hand, 7 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 a hand, good to be 27 a hand, 30, good to be 30, good to be 30, then 30, then 2 a hand, good to be 2 a hand, good to be 2 a hand, good to be 250, and 5, and 35 here, 35, 37 a hand, 7 a hand, 40, good to get 40, good to be 40, 142 and a half, and 42 and a half, good to be 40, good to get 2 and a half, 5, and 45 here, 45, 47 a hand, 47 a hand, 50, and half, 50, good to get 50, good to get 50, good to get 50, Cavendish 147, 50X. $185, 185 there, good to be 85 there, good to be 85, 85, 87 and a half, 87 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, good to be 87 and a half, good to be 87 and a half, good to be 90, good to be 2 and a half, good to be 92 and a half, 91 3, and 93, good to be 3, and 91, 93, good to be 3, and 91, good to be 3, 2 3, and 93, good to be 3, and 92, 93, 94, and 94 4 here, 93, good to be 4, 94 5, and 95 5, 600, and 95, good to be 600, good to be 95, good to be 6 here, so 195, put on number 7, Chris. Chris 7. $65, as a good about, 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 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 70, and 2 and a half, 72, 55, and 75, 50, 77 and a half, how 83, 83, 5, 85, 85, 85, 83, 85, here, 87, here, 89, 87, 89, and 91, and 90, 93, 93, and 93, 95, here, 95, 97, 97, 97, 97, 95, 87, 95, 87, so 195, Chris 6. Big tall steer. 135 and 35. You give out 35, 35, 35, 35, 5 here, 5 here, 135, 40, and 35, 40, we get 40, we get 40, we get 40, now 45, 45, 50, $1.53, we get 50, we get 50, we get 50, we get 50, we get 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, and now 60 here, 5, we get 60 here, 155, 4. $15 half five, 15 half five here, now 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, and now 60 here, 16 half five, has it get about 70, 70 half five, 75, 2.5 5, and 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 83, 80 now, 83, 82, 50, 82 and a half, 85 here, going to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, a bit of a 5 here, going to be 85, 85 here, Chris, 182 and a half, 10x. One 15 half five, 15 half five here, 55 half 55, 55, 55, 60, and 2.5, 2 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 172 and a half, 75 here, 75 here, 75 here, 75, and 77 and a half, 77 and a half, now 80, 80 there, 80 there, 77 and a half, going to be 80 there, going to be 80, bit of 80 there, going to be 80 here, Kevin, that's 177.50 bull. Daughter bit, all going to go 105 and 105, 5 here, 105 here, going to be 102 and a half, 102 and a half, 102 and a half, 75, give 80, and 75, going to be 80 here, 75, give 85, 85, 85, and 90, 90, go to 95, 95, 95, 95, 95 dollar, and dollar here, going to be 2 and a half, 2 and a half, going to be 105, 5, 750, and 7 and a half, going to be 7 and a half, 7 and a half, going to be 7 and a half here, going to be 7 and a half here, going to be 7 and a half here, so 105 burns 3. Buck 35, and 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 42 and a half, 43 and a half, 45, 47 and a half, 50 and a half, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57, about 60, and half 60, 62, 1, 2, and 62, 3, 34, 64, 65, and to get about 600, 66, 7, and 7, 7, 8, 3, 9, good 9, good 9, good 9, good 9, 69, and $9, good 9, here, good $9, good 9, good 9, 70, and how here, good 70, good 70, good 70, good 70, here, D, 169, 2. Young things, here guys, 3s and 4s. $2 a pound. 205, yeah, 205, $2 a pound, 205, and 205, 5 here, now 5, 10, go to 2, 10, now 15, 20, and 220, 225, 225 here, 225, and 225 here, now 30, and now 30, 35, go to 235, 235, 235, 40, and 240, 40, down 2, and now 40, 7, now 2, and now 40, now 40, now 40, now 40, 240, and now 40, 40, 40, 5, 45, 245, 245, 50, and 250. 250 bow, 245. 1. $135, and 35, 35, 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 40, 42 and a half, 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47, 50, and 50, 50, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 60, and now 60, 60, 60, now 1, and 1, 2, now 2, 2, now 3, 4, and 63, 64, and now 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, Chris, 163, 20. $5 and 6-year-olds are up on here. 115, half 5, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 60, and now 60, now 60, you get 62 and a half, and 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, and get 2 and a half, take away 60, now 2 and a half, 5, and 65, 7 and a half, and 7 and a half, 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 7 and 70, and now 72 and a half, and 70, you get 2 and a half, 72 and a spin them one time. Antone, 72 and a half, 72 and a half. 172 and a half, 5. 177 and a half. 180. 180. 2 and a half. 82 and a half. Sort of 180, done 22. Here's some older cows, 9 and 10-year-olds, are 6 to 8 months bred. 2,000. 2,000 and 2,000, able to get 2,050 and 20, 50, hand a hand, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21 and a hand, 21 and a hand, 21 and a hand, going to be 22, 122 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, able to get 3 and hand, 23 and a half, and 23, 54, and 24 and a half, going to be 24 and a half, going to be 2,500 and a half, and 25 and a half, going to be 25 and a half, going to be 25 and a half, going to be 2550, and 25 and a half, going to be 25 and a half, going to be 25 and a half, going to be 2550. You're out on line. Now 6, 6 and a half, 26 and a half. 26 and a half, and 26 and a half here, half here, going to be 26.50, and 26 and a half here, half here, Antone, 2,600. Put them on number 25. 2s and 3-year-olds, and they're 3 months bred, 2,000. 2,100 and 2,100, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 201, and 2, 3, and 3, now 4, 5, and 25, and 2,500, 5, 600, and 25, going to be 2,600, 5, 5,600, and 25 and a half, going to be 2,600, 5 and a half, going to be 26 and a half, and 27, and 27, and 7, 7, 7, 7, going to be 27, 27, now 7, and 2,700 about here, down 27 and a half, 2750, and now 800, here, going to be 2,800. And 2,800, you give 8. Sold them 27 and a half, Chris 3. Old cows are open. 125, and 25, you get 29, 25, 30, and 25, you get 30, 25, you get 35, 35, 35, 40, you get 45, 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, 5, 45, 45, 45, you get 5, 45, and 45 here, 45 there, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45 here, sort of 142, 50, S4. One cow got a little hang down. She's going to be on there. Not bothering her. $1.52 and a half, and 50, you get 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 60, now 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, you get 5, 7 and a half, 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 6,600, and 65, 66, 65, 67, and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7, here you're going to be 6, 7, and 7 and 7, you get 7, 67, $8, and now 8's here, going to be 67, going to be 8 here, now 9, and now 9, you get 9 here, you're going to be 9, $1, you get 9, going to be 9, you get 9, going to be 8, now 9, $1, you get 9 here, you're going to be 9, $1, you get 9, sold, 168, Chris 10. $1.52 and a half, and 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 60, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and 63, 4, and half 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 64, 65, 66. S 165, 25. Just 5. That's 5, yep. $125, and 25, you get 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, you get 30, and 25, you get 30, 25, you get 30, 25, you get 35 here, 35, 40, you get 40, you get 45, 45, 50, $1.53, you get 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, and now 63, 65, and you get 5, and you get 5, 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 you get 5 here, 5, you get 5 here, 5, you get 5 here, so 160, put them on Chris, 10x. Hey, I'm on vacation. $2. $2.10 and 210 and 10 over 210 over 210 and 10 210 210 out the gate 210 and 210 20 going to be 20 to get 30 to get 35 35 35 40 and 245 to get 45 to get 50 to get 50 to get 50 45 50 Chris Shaft 50 and 250 to get 50 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 here S 245 11. Job school today. We're out. Who knows the Mustangs? Probably protesting again. $175. Here's 75. Here's 75. 75. 75. 75. 75. Here's 75. 750 and 77. How to have 77. How to have here. You're going to be 77. How to have. You get 77. And a half now. 77. 50. 80. And now 80. That one. 81. That one. Here. You're going to be 81. 81. 81. 81. 81. Here. 81. Here's on 180. Chris 10x. Four and 5-year-olds, $2. 205 and 205 to get 5 to get 5 to get 5 to get 5 and 10 going to be 210 15 now 15 2 15 20 and 225 225 30 and 230 to get 35 35 35 40 to get 40 to 45 and 245 50 to get 250 to get 250 going to be 250 5 and 55 55 60 and 265 65 70 275 and 75 75 75 75 275 and 275 here 75 75 going to be 275 75 here 275 here Chris 270 3x. How old? Five years old. They're 5 months bred and 6 months bred. 2100 and 21 and 2100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 25 50 and 5 5 5 600 and 2600 25 going to be 2600 5 going to be 26 and a half 7 and 27 27 28 28 get 9 here 10 9 and 3 and 3000 going to get 3000 going to be 25 going to get 3001 and 3100 3100 31 2 and 32 3 and 33 going to get 33 going to get 33 going to get 34 and 34 5 and 35 35 35 35 35 you get 5 here 3500 and 3500 here 5 here 5 you get 5 here so 3400 Chris 3. They are 3 and 4 year old. They're 6 to 8 months bred. Here's somebody, a little opportunity. Got your little green grass growing. 80 degrees outside. You can just hear it growing. 25. 25, 750, and 27, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, going to be 27, going to be 27, going to be 2750, and 2750, and 27 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, going to be 27, now 3, and 3,000, I'm going to get 3,000, I'm going to get 3,000, I'm going to get 3,000, 2 and a half, and 32 and a half, 3,500, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 35, 35, 35, 35, 4, 5, and 35, you're up here, 35, 34, jiggy 5, and 35, and 3,500, 34, now 5, 34, jiggy 5, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 3,500, 34, jiggy 500, now 4, now 5, here, sold them 3,400, Chris, 3, 3,400. These are bred back to Angus bull, maybe also a Hereford. Bred to Angus bulls or maybe a Hereford. There you go, guys. What story here? 6 and 7 years old. And they're heavy bred, guys. 8 months bred. 6 to 8 months bred. 1,500, right? Bred to Angus bulls, guys, right there. Here, let you bid. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 here. Now 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 1,200, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, now 2, and 2,000, and 2,100, and 2,100, 100, out on line, 2,100, 2,100, what about you, Chris? 2,100, and 2,100, 1, out on line, 2,100, now 2, and 2,100, and 2, now 3, and 23, and 23, 3, and 23, going to be 2,300, and 23, 300, going to be 23, here, going to be 23, 300, 23, 3. Sold them at 2,200. Cody LaFoe. You gonna rope him, Cody? Good. Same deal. 10 years old or 6 and 7 months bred to Angus bulls. $1,000. 1,000, 1,000, 1,100, you 10, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 1,200, 1,300, 13, going to be 14, going to be 15, going to be 16, and 50, 16, and 50, 100, going to be 1,600, and 15, going to be 16, 17, going to be 17, going to be 17, going to be 17, going to be 16, 17, and 1,700, and 17, going to be 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 1,700, going to be 17, going to be 100, and tone 1,600 on number 30. Got more numbers than Pokey. Hope you can keep them all straight, Antone. Here's some 3 and 4 year olds, guys. Justin Rother. I bet they're open. That's why they're here. $2 a pound. 205 and 205, 5, out the gate, 205, 205, and 219, going to be 10, 15, going to be 15, 20, going to be 225, going to be 225, 30, and 230, 35, 35, 40, and 40, 45, 45, 50, and 250, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 255, and 55 here, 55, 55, 55 here, 55 here, 250 on 1. $110, 12, 50, 10, 12, going to be 110, 12, going to be 10, 12, 15, 17, going to be 120, 2 and a half, 5 here, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 30, 30, now 2 and a half, 5, and 35, 35, 35, 32 and a half, 5, and 35, tire out, 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 to 40, and 40, now 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, D45, and $1.45, and $1.45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45 here, 45 here, Jerry, 142 and a half on number 2. Thoughts and prayers are with your family, Jerry. Old cows here. 130, 135, and 35. You go 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 35, 37 and a half, 35, 37 and a half, 37 40, then 2 and a half, 45, and 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47 and 50, $1.52 and a half, 52 and a half, 5, and 55, 57 and a half, 7, 60, and now 60 there, $1.60, $1.60, 8, 9, and down high, good 9, 60 there, good 161, and to get one, has a good one, get 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 one, here, one, here, D, 160 on 3. You give $3. You give $3. 280. 285 and 285 and 90 and 95 and 95 95 95 now 3 3 and 305 good to be 305 10 310 15 now 15 20 and 325 good to be 25 30 3 35 and 35 35 35 35 35 3 30 40 and 340 and 340 and 340 40 40 40 40 40 here both 335 9. Sorry, Paul, missed you there. We'll try to watch that internet a little closer. I got one of the pastors just like him. 250. 255, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 255, and 55 here, $2 a pound, 210, 220, 230, 230, 225, 30, and 45, we get 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 40, we get 245, and 45 here, 45, 50, we get 255, and 55, 55, 55, 60, and 5 times, we get about 70, we get 275, 275, 80, and 285 here, 85, 90, we get 295, and 95, 3, and 95, 3, now 5, and 305, we get about 10, going to be 310, going to be 310, going to be 310 here, both 305 on 9. $175, 75, 750, and 77, going to be 82 and a half, 85, 85, 87, 90, 92 and a half, 95, 95, 97, 97, going to be 202 and a half, going to be 202 and a half, 5, and 27 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 750, and 7 and a half, going to be 7 and a half, 7 and a half, now 10, and 210, going to be 10, going to be 10, going to 210, 210, 210, and 210, going to be 10, going to be 10, going to be 210 here, so 27 and a half, Chris, 6. What are you government boys talking about up there? Government things? So what are you two government boys talking about up there? Government stuff. That's what I thought. Top secret classified information. What about him, Antone? $2? 210 and 210 20 and 210 20 220 30 we get 35 and 235 40 we get 45 245 50 5 and 55 55 60 and 265 65 65 70 275 275 give 80 there 85 here 85 90 and 95 we get 95 95 93 and 95 we get 3 and 95 we get 300 95 we get 3 there here 295 9. Four and 5-year-olds. 4 to 7. 4 to 7 months. 2,500. 25, and 25, you give out 25, 25, 25, 25, 2,500, 25, 50, and 25, going to be 26 and a half, and 27, 28, now 9, now 3, now 1, and 32, and 31, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, going to be 31, 2, and 3,200, 2, 3, and 33, 33, 33, took him right ahead of you, took him at 2, going to be 33, 33, now 4, and 34, and 33, 34, there, going to be 33, we get 400, and 33, we get 400, 33, 34, 33, 34, 33, we get 400, 33, we get 4. Done. 3,345. What were those last scales? No, what was it? The ages, you remember? That's okay. 5 years old or 5 months, is that correct? 5 by 5, 2,500, 25, and 25, and 25, 25, 25, 25, 27 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, going to be 27, going to be 27, going to be 25, 2,600, and 25, and 2,600, 26, 7, and 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 7, here, going to be 27, and 2,700 down the line, 27, and 2,700, going to be 7 to buy, 27, and 27, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, sold them, 2,600, S7. $4 to 7-year-olds are open. $1.50. $1.55. 55. You give 55, 55, 7 57, going to be 60. We get 2 and a half. 7 and a half, 750. 67 and a half, 67 and a half, 70. Now 2 and a half, now 5, 77 and a half, 77.50, and now 77 and a half, 80, 83, 250, 82 and a half, 85, 85, 85, 87 and a half, going to be 87 and 90, and now 90, going to be 90, going to be 90, going to be 90, 190, and 190, going to be 190, going to be 90, 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 here's sold, 187.50, done, 22. How old are the ages on those last cows? 5 and 6. 3 years old, $1 pound. 110, and 110, here could be 110, 20, 30, we get 30, we get 40, we get 50, 160, 170, 180, 175, and 75, and 75, 75, 75, 75, here's hold 170, showtime, number nothing. $1.55, 55, you can buy 57 and a half, 57, about 62 and a half, 2 and a half, 7 and a half, 750, and 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, sold 165, Chris 20. $10 years and 5 months. 1,500. 15 and a half, 15 and a half, half and a half, half and a half, going to be 15, 50, and 15 and a half, half, $1,000. 1,100. 1,200. 1,300. She's gentle. Half, 13. Now half. 13 and a half. Sold her 1,300 and 25. Thank you. Cedar pollen trees must be blooming. 250. 255, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 250, and 250, 55, and 55, 55, 60, 260, 260, 260, 5, and get about 70, 275, 275, and 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, give 80 there, 85 here, 85, 90, and 100 here, going to be 290, 85, 90 there, going to be 90, 90, going to be 90, 95, and 100 here, now 3, and 95, going to get 3, and 95, going to 395, going to get 3 here, bow, 295, 1. 135, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 35, 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 42 and a half, 2 and a half, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 45 and a half, 50, 5, and 55 and a half, 55, 60, $60, 5, 60, 5, going to be 60, Caminus 155, straight. $125, 25, you get 25, 25, 25, 25 here, 25, 750, 75, you get 35, 35, 35, 40, you get 40 and a half, 37 and a half, 40, $1.40, 42 and a half, you get 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 5, and 45, 47 and a half, 50, and 50, you get 50, Terry out, 50, $1.52 and a half, 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, sold, 52 and a half, Jerry 2. She young? 10. Ricardo, you may have to go back to school some next semester. 125, 25, and 25, 25, 30, and 25, you get 35, 35, 35, 40, you get 42 and a half, you get 2 and a half, you get 5, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 50, and 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 60, and now 63, 7 and a half, going to be 62 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half here, Chris, 165, 20. $152 and a half, and 52 and a half, 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57, about 60, and 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, you get 1, 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 you get 2, you get 2, 2, 3, and 3, you get 3 and a half, 4 here, 63, 64, and 3, you get 4, $1, 3, you get 4 and a half, 3, you get 4 here, D, 163, 2. $1.55, 55, you get 57, about 60, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, you get about 2 and a half, 65, 7 and a half, and 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, you get 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 75, and 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, you get 5, and 75, 75 here, Chris, 172 and a half, 10. Six years and 7 months, and she's got a wheel broke. Stifle. Just where? $1.50. $55, 60, and house 62 and a hand, 2 and a hand, 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, you're going to be 170, you're going to be 170, you're going to get 70, and 70, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 75, 175, and 75 here, 75 here, 75, 75, 75 here, sold 172 and a half, and tone, 25. You get fired over that. We'll get 10 years, 6 months. Here's a good cow. 2,000. 2,100, 2,100, 2,100, 1, 2, 3, and 23, we get 4, now 5, and 25, 50, 5 and a half, 620, 625 and a half, 6 and a half, 7, and 27, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 700, going to be 2,700, and 2,700, going to be 27, going to be 2750, now 8, and 2,800, 8 and a half, 8 and a half, going to be 2,850, and 28 and a half, 8 and a half, going to be 28 and a half, you're out, Paul, 28 and a half, and 28 and a half, 9, and 2,900, and now 9, going to be 2,900, and now 900, going to get 900, now 9 here, sold 28 and a half, McGee. Group of cow, dollar bid, 105, and 105 here, good 105, 5, 105 here, good 105, and 105, 5, and 10, good 110, 15, 20, and 21, 20 there, 115, good 20 there, good 20 here, so 115 Cavaness X. $55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 55, 57 and a half, 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 57, 60, and house 60, we get 2 and a half, 2 and a 5, and 5, and 7 and a half, 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 67 and a half here, D, 165, 2. D2. 43. I'm 44, he'll be 43 in April. 14 months apart. 10, 3 years, $2. 210 20 and 210 20 we get 210 20 but 10 20 10 20 210 20 and 220 30 we get 30 we get 30 25 30 we get 35 235 40 and half 45 45 50 and 55 55 55 55 55 55 55 60 and 265 here 65 here and house 70 and 275 here 75 75 75 275 and 275 a pound here 75 here here's holder 270 Chris 3X. Two-year-old, 250. It's pretty good. 255. 255 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60 and 265, 70. We get 275. Going to be 275, 80, 85. There you're going to be 85 and 90. We get 295. We get 95. We get 95. Going to be 295 and 95 here and 95 here. We get 95. We get 95 here. Solder 290. Chris 7X Preg. Six-year-old cow here, $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 60, and half high, and has it get about 70, going to be 70, 70, 75, and 75, give 80 there, 5 here, 85, 90 there, going to be 190, 85, 90 here, 85, get 90, 95, 195, now $2 a pound, 205. 205 and 205, get 5, get 5, get 5, get 5 here, 5 here, we're done. $2, put them on number 22. She's a 7-year-old. She's open. $1.55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 7.5. 55. 57. 55. 57. 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. Out the gate 60. And down 2.5. And 2.5. Get 2.5. Get 2.5. Get 2.5. Get 2.5. Get 2.5. Here's all 160. Chris 10. How old? 10. 135 and 35. You give out 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 to 37 to 37 to 40. £1.40, 2.5, get 2.5, go to 2.5, get 2.5, go to 255 and 45, 47 to 47 to 47 to 50. $1.50, 2.5, go to 2.5, get 2.5, go to 2.5, 2.5, 52 and a half, 5. $1.57 and a half, and 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half. Here's all 155. Jerry 2. 7 years and she's open. $1.55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 50 and half 5. And 55. 60. And 2.5. Get 2.5. 2.5. 65. And $5. Sold 162 and a half. Chris 20. $135 and 35. You give out 35, 35, 35, 37 of man, 37 of man, 37 of man. Going to be 40. You get 2 and a half. You get 5. 47 of man. Now 50 and half. 50. You get 2 and a half. Going to be 2 and a 5 and 55. 57 and a half. 7 and a half. 7 and a half. 57 and a half and 57 and a half. Here 57 and 60 and now 2 and a half. You get 2 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half. You get 2 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half. Here 2 and a half. Sold 160. Chris 20. 8-year-old here, 52 and a half, and 52 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 60, 2 and a half, 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 5, and 65, and 65, 7 and a half, 3, 5, and half 3, 5, 3, now 5 here, D, 163, 2. $1.52 and a half, and 52 and a half. You can 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55. You can 5 here, 55 there, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 57, 50, 60, and 2 and a half. You get 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 65, 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 70, and half 70, 70, 70, 70 here done. 167 and a half, 22. Five by three. 5 by 3. Let you bet. $1,000. 1,000, 1,000, maybe to get 1,000, maybe to get 1,000, 1,100, you get 10, 11, 11, 10, 11, 12, and 1,200, maybe to get 13, maybe to get 13, maybe to get 30, 12, 13, 14, and 14, 15, and 52, going to be 1,600, 16, and now 17, maybe to get 17, going to be 18, 18, 19, 18, and 1,900 online, you're out 2,000, and 2, and 2,000, maybe to get 2,000, going to be 19, 2, and 2,000, maybe to get 2,000, now 2,001, and 2,100, and 2,102, and 2,102, going to be 22, now 3, and 22, going to get 3, going to be 23, going to be 23, going to be 2,300, 2,300, 4, 24, 23 to get 4, 23 to get 400, done, 2,300 on number 44X. We're here, 125, and 25, 30, and 25, you get 35, 35, 35, 35, 40, you get 40, half, 40, half, 40, you get 40, and 35, 42 and a half, you get 2 and a half, 45, 45, 45, you get 5, and 45 here, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45 here, 142 and a half, 4. The blue eye on my side, 135, and 35, and 35, you go about 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 35, 37, 35, 37, 37, 50, and 37, 37, going to be 40, going to get 42 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 7 and a half, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 50, $1.52 and a half, going to get 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 about 60, and down 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 7 and 70, and now 70, going to get 70, going to get 70, going to be 70 here, D, 167 and a half, 2. 50 cents a pound. 50. Did you get it? 55, 60, 65, and to get about 70, we get 75, 75, give 83, 85, here, go to 85 and 90, and down 90, we get 95, 95, 95, 95, and 95 dollars here, we get 95, 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 now $1. Sold her 95 and tone. 25? No, put her on straight. Oh. Nine-year-old cow, 125, and 45, down 27 and a half, and 75, 30, we get 32 and a half, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 40, we get 42 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, you get 5, and 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 50, and 50, we get 50, we get 50, we get 50, and 50 there, 52 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 250, and 52 and a half, you bid Chris, 52 and a half, and 52 and a half, going to be 2 and a half here, D, 150 on 3. $250. 255, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, now 5, and 65, now 70, we get 5, going to be 80, we get 5, going to be 90, we get 290, 290 up here, 295, and 95, 3, and 95, we get 3, now 5, and 3, now 5, we get 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 5 here, bone 9, $3. $1.65, and $65, has $65, 7 and a half, 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 750, and 67 and a half, going to be 7 and a half, going to be 7 and a half, going to be 7 and a half, going to be 67 and a half here, total 165, Cavendish Bull X. They all been out to your place? Or your sister's been out there? Good. Old cow. 135 and 35. You give out 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 of 37 of 37 of 42 and a half, 2 and a half, you give 5 and 45, 47 of 47 of 50 and 50, 52 and a half, group of 2 and a half, group of 2 and a half, 5 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, you give 5 here, 55 here, 55 here, Jerry, 152 and a half, 2. $55, 55, you give 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 55, 57, 7, 7, 57, 57, 50, 57, 60, 62 and a half, group of 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 7, 7, 7, group of 67, 50, and 67 and a half here and half here, S, 165, S2. $55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 57, 7, 7, 7, 7, 57, 60, and down 2 and a half, 2 and a half, bit of 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, group of 250, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, group of 2 and a half here, sold 160, Chris on 20, little bit quicker, my bad. You mad? You know I can hear better than I can see. That's what I like about them pig sales. I don't got to see anything. All I just got to hear. Just go up fast. She's a 7-year-old cow. She's 8 months bred. She's a little close to the ground. 2,000. 2,100, 2,100, 200 and 2 and half 3, and 23, 24, 25, 25, 25, and 2,500, 2,600, and 27, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 800, and 2,809, 9, and 28, took up at 8, now 9, and 29, and 2,900, here, now 93, and 3,001, and 30 down to 1, 2, 3, and 33, 33, 33, 32, now 3, and 33, 33, 33, 33, 33, 33, sold. 3,200. Ricardo. 6-year-old. She's 6 months. She's crippled. $20. 125, 30, and 35, 35, 40, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 750, and 47 and a half, 50, $1.52 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 57 and 60, and now 62 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 5, 7 and a half, 70, going to be 75, going to be 80, $1.85, 85 here, 85, 90 here, 190 here, 190, 85, 90 here, Jesus, 185. Ten-year-old, she's open, guys, here, 135, and 35, you give out 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 35, 37, 50, and 37, going to be 42 and a half, 2 and a half, 45, 45, 47, 50, $1.52 and a half, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 5, and 55, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, here, Cavness, 152 and a half. Rob, you going to Sonic? Brahms? $2. $2. 6 and open. 205 and 25 and 205. 205 and 205. $5 and 205 here. 5 here. $1.50. $60, 70, 80, 90, 190, 180, 90. Now two. 190, 95, two. $2, five. 210. 215. Sold 210. Done 22. Cost you $135, Caleb. Ah, 75 cents a pound. 75, give 80. And 75, going to be 80 pounds. 75, going to be 80. 75, going to be 80. 75, going to be 85. 85, and 100, 95. And $95. $105, going to be 105. 10, going to be 110. 15, 110, 115. And 10 and 15 here, 115. 20. And now 20, going to be 20, going to be 20, going to be 20. Now 20 here's all 115 S1. Old cow, she's open. 35, 35, you go about 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, going to be 40, you're going to get 2.5, 45, 47, 50, and 2.5, 5, and 55, 57, 57, 7, 7, 7, 60, and now 60 here, $60, and 60 here, Cabinet, 157.5. You've been to that. You been there, Derek? Did you stay there? The Drover? No. You just bought the hoodie. Too expensive to stay. Yeah, that's, hey, been there. 6 and open. 135. After we were going to go stay, and Darcy goes, it's $800 a night. I go, yeah, we'll go home. No. 155, 55, 55, 7, 55, 57, 7, 7, 57, 57, 60, and 5, and 65, 70, 170, 175, and 75, give 80 here, 85 here, 85, 90 here, 95, and 95, 2, and $2 pound, going to be 205, 205, 205, and 205, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, done, $2 on 22. I went, didn't stay. With 1 by 6, 2,000, 2,100, and 2,100. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 600, and 26, 7, 7, 7, 800, and 28, now 9, and now 900, 900, 9, and 9, 3, and 3,000, 3,001, and 3,100, 1, 2, and 3,200, 2, sold 3,100. What's the name? Davis. Scenery was pretty good too, Chris. Yeah, I had to leave. Lamb cow, dollar bid, 105, and 105, and 105 here, go to 105, you get 5, you get 5, you get 5, 5 here, 10, you're going to be 110, 110, you get 10, 110, 15, and 15, 20, and 21, 21, 21, 20, 115, bid 20 here, you're going to be 20, bid 20 here, so 115 CavX. Dollar bid, 105, and 105, you get 5, you get 5, 19, you're going to be 110, you get 15, you're going to be 25, 25, 25, 25 here, 25, 30, and now 35, and 35, 40, you get 40, you get 40, you get 45, 145, 145, 45, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 50, 2.5, 5, 7.5, sold 155 hand tone straight. See. Pregnant. Siete. Siete. Bull. Bull calf. Jersey calf. $1.55, 55, 55, 57, going to be 60, you're going to get 2.5, 25, and 7.5, and 67 and a half here, Ricardo, 165. Ocho. 9 years and 5 months, 2,100 and 2,100 and 2,100 and 2,100 2, 3, 4, 500 here, 600 and 6, 7 and 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 6, 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7. Online you're in 27. Now 8 and 2,800. Now you're not 8. Now 9 and now 3 and 3,000. I better get 3,000. I better get 3,000. I better get 3,000. You're out, Paul. 3,000 and 3,000. I better get 3 and 3,000. I better get 3,000. I better get 3,000. I better get 3. Sold her 2,900. J. Martinez. That's a good cow, Jay. 6 years and 4 months here. 2,100 and 2,000 and 2,000 100 21 2 we get 3 and 3 we get 4 and 4 5 and 25 600 and 25 600 6 7 and 7 7 of 800 800 now 8 and 28 9 and 9 we get 9 here 29 we get 9 3 and 3,000 we get 3,000 we get 3,000 going to be 25 we get 3 J 2,900. What's up, one-armed bandit? 135 and 35. You go about 35, 37, 37, 37, 40, 42 and a half, 45, 45, 47, 50, and 2 and a half, 5, and 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 60, and 2 and a half. You get 2 and 5. Has to get about 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 170, and now 70. You get 70. You get 70. You get 70 here. S 167.52. Stevie, how are you? Pretty good. Went golfing yesterday. I was on and I 3 and 4 putted all day long. 7-year-old, 135. 135, 40, and 35, 45, 45, you get 50, and 55, 55, 55, 60, and now 60, 5, going to be 60, 5, going to be 60, sold 155, bow 5. You ever played John Conrad? Oh, my goodness. Hit. Mm-hmm. Little Coriani Bred cow. She's 9 by 2, is that correct? Dollar pound. She's 9 by 2 plus. Dollar pound, 105. $5 and 105. We get 5. We get 5 and 10. Going to be 110. We get 15 and 20 and 25 here. 25, 25, 25, 125 and 25. We get 30. We get 35 and $35. We get 35. We get 35. We get 35. We get 35. Sold 130 S 7. $55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 57, 50, and 60, and 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, and has to get about 7 and a half, 7 and a half, sounds 67, 50, and 67 and a half here, half here, 165.5. 6 years and 6 months, 2,500. 25, 25, and 25, 25, 27, and 25, 27, and 7, 7, 9, and 29, 31, 31, 31, 2, 31, 2, 3, and 33, 33, 34, 34, 34, 34, 33, 4, and 33, 4, and 33, 400, 33, 34, going to be 33, 4, sold at 3,300, Chris 3. Two by 7. 3 years and 7 months. Pretty good rip. Is her bag okay, Anton? You give 2,500 on her? 25, 750, and 4750, and 27, 3,000, and 3,000, I'm going to go 3,000, 2.5, going to be 2.5, 32.5, 5, and 35, 37, 37, 37, 4, and 4,000, I'm going to get 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 4, and 42.50, and 42.5, going to be 2.5, I'm going to get 2.5, you're out of line, 42.50, and 40, I'm going to get 2.5, going to be 42.5, going to be 42.5, here's order 4,000, Chris 3. $55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 55, 57, 60, and 2.5, 2.5, and 5, here D, 162.5 on number 2. $10 years and 6 months, guys. 2,500 and 25, 25 and 25, 27 and 25, 27 and 7, 7, 7, 800, 28 and 9 and 9, I'm going to get 3,000, I'm going to get 3,001 and 3,100 and 3,100, here, here, going to be 3,100 and 3,100, here, S, 3,000, 1, 3,100. Did you get it, sir? 32. So, 3,100, Davis. Thank you, John. Four-year-old cows right there, 55, and 55, and 55, 55, 60, and 55, 60, and now 60, here, 5, and you get a 75, and 75, 80, 85, 85, 85, 85, 80, 90, and 90, here, 5, and 95, and 2, going to be 2, going to get 2, going to be 195, going to get 2, here, going to be 195, going to get $2 a pound, going to be 2, sold, 195, bow 1. Tenado Pond, 120. 125, 25, and 25, 25, 25, 30, and 35, 35, 40, 42 and a half, going to be 2.5, 45, 7.5, now 50 pound, 2.5, 55, 55, you get 7.5, and 57 and 60, and $2.5, going to get 2.5, going to be 2.5, going to get 2.5, going to be 2.5, here's all 160 cabinets. Got just a little bit old hitch in her little get along, don't she? She's 4-year-old. She's 6 months. She's 2,000. Buy her that way. 21 and 21, 2 and 203 and 23, 24, 25, 25, 26, 7 and 7, and 7, going to be 28, now 9, now 3, now 1 and 3,100 and 3,100, now 2 and 32, 3 and 33, now 33, 33, 33, 4 and 33, 4, 5 and 3,500, 600 and 36, 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7, sold 3,600. J. Martinez. I know it. Hope mine come in crippled. Yep, old cows, guys. 135 and 35. Took about 35, 35, 35, 35, 35 here. 37 and a half, 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 37 to 40 and 40, 40, 42 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half, 5 and 45, 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 50. $1.50 and a half, 2 and a half. Going to get 2 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half. Sold 150. Jerry 2, 150. Five years and 5 months and the and 5 by 6, 2100 and 21 and 2100. 3, 4, going to be 5, 6, 7 and 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 800. 8, 900 here, 9, 3 and 3001 and 3100 and 2, 1, 2, 3 and 33, 33, 34 and 3400, 33, 34, 5 and 3500. 5 here. What about a half? 34 and a half. 5. 3,500. J, 3,450. What you got? 8 to 10 years old. They're 6 and 7 months. Who are you working on now? Harrison cows. That's one, 2100 and 21 and 2100. 1, 2 and 21, 3 and 400 and a half here, 4 and a half, 5 and 25, 55 and about 600 and 26 and a half, 26 and a half, 7 and 27, 50 now 8 and 28 and a half here, 8 and a half, 9 and 29, 9, 29 and a half, 9 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 and a half, 3 and 3,000 and 3,050 and 30, 50, 30, 51 and 3,100, 1 half and 31 and a half, 31 and a half, going to be 3150 and 31 and a half here, 1 half and a half and a half here, going to be 3150 and 31 and a half here, 1 and a half here, done. 3,100 on number 9. Seven to 9 years old, and they're 5 months bred. 5 to 6 months, 2100 and 21 and 2100, 21, 21, 21, 2 and a 3 and 23, we get 4, now 5 and 25, 50 and 25 going to be 25 going to be 26 and a half and 6, 7 and 7 and 7 going to be 27 and a half, going to be 28 and a half and 9 and 29 and 9, we get 900, going to be 29 and a half and 9 and a half, 3 and 3,000, we get 3,000, we get 3,000, going to be 3,000. Paul, you're out. 3 and 3,000, we get 3. Jared, you're out. 3 and 3,000, we get 3,000, we get 3,000. I would get 3,000. J, 2950. You like that in tone? They're 5 and 7 years old. Looks like they're about 6 months bred. Oh, goodness. 2,000, 2,100, and 21, and 21, and 21, 21, 21, 200, and 2, and half 3, we get 3, we get 4, we get 4, now 5, and 25, 600, and 6, 7, and 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 7, here, going to be 6, 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, now 8, and 28, 100, and 9, and now 9, we get 900, we get 900, now 3, and 3,000, we get 3,000, and 3,001, and 3,100, 131, 31, 31, and 3,100, you out of line, 3,100, and 3,100, here, here, going to be 31. Now 2. 31, give 2. What about a half? 31 and a half. 31.50. Oh, now. 31. 31.50. Sold them 3,100. Bailey Denny, 3,100. You need to go change your pants. Yeah, he does. it. Old cows are open. 135 and 35. You give out 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 of 37 of 37 of 37 of going to be 40. You're going to get 2.5, 5 and 45, 47 of 50 and 52 of 5. You're going to get 2.5, 5 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55. John, you have 55 and 55 here, 55 there, here. Chris, 152 and a half, 20. $10 old, they're 6 months bred. 2100, 2100, 2100, here, now one, and 2100, 2100, 2100, and 21 and 1 2 3, and 23 and 3, now 4, and 24 and a half, 4 4, and 24 and a half, going to be 24 and a half, going to be 24 and a half, going to be 24 50, it's 24 and a half here, 4 and a half, going to get 4 and a half, going to be 24 and a half here, sort of at 2400. And tone 25. $125 and 45. You got 25, 27 and a half, 7 and a half, 30, you get 32 and a half, 35, 37 and a half, 45, 42 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5 and 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 50 and half, 50, you get 50, you get 50, tie your half, 50 and half, 50, you get 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 50 here, Jerry, 147 and a half, 2. Heavy breds. 6 to 8 months bred, got 10 years old, 6 to 8 months bred, 2100 and 21 and 2100, 2100, 1 2 and 21 3 and 3 to get 4 5 and 25 50 and 25 going to be 2600 and 25 going to be 26 and a half 7 and 27 and 27 and 7 7 7 7 7 7 here going to be 2750 and 2750 and 27 going to be 2800 here 8 and a half here 850 and 28 and a half here 8 and a half here so 2800 McGee 28 on McGee. $6 to 8 they're open $1.50 $1.55 and 55 you get 55 55 55 55 55 55 55 you get 5 and 55 here 55 here 55 55 55 here 5 here 150 on 5. Okay, we've got 3 open cows, and one of them's 8x4. We'll sell that 8x4, 2,000. Yeah, right there. Sell that one. 2,100. 21 and 2,100. 2,100. 2 and 22. Now 3 and 23. 24. 24. 23. 24. 23. We get 4. 5 and 2,600 and 25. Going to be 2,600. 25. 2,600. Out of here. 25. 26 and 25. Going to be 2,600. 25. Going to be 2,600 and 25. Going to be 2,600 here. 5 now 6. Sold 2,500 on McGee. 2,500. Sell the opens. 135 and 35. You go out 35 and 37. Going to be 40. We're going to get 2.5. 5 and 47 50 and 52 and a half. We're going to get 2.5. 5 and 55. 55. 57 and a half. 57 about 60 and now 60 there. 160 and 60 there. 60 60 bow. 157 and a half. 4 5 57 and a half. Yeah, I was asking 60. No 5. You done with this heat? 10 by 6 and a 10 by 7. Heavy red cows, 2100 and 21 and 2100. 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 2 and 22, 22, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25, 25, 600 and 25, 6, 7 and 7, 7, 7, 7, 800 and 27. Going to be 2800. Going to be 27. Going to be 20. Going to be 27. Going to be 28. McGee, 2700. $125, 25, and 25, 25, 25, 25, 5 here, 750, and 7 and a half, 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 750, and 30, 32 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, and 35, 35, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 40, and half, 40, 40, 40, going to get 42 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 42 and a half, 5, and 47 and a half, and 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, going to be 47 and 50, $1.50, $1.50 online, you're out, $1.52 and a half, 152 and a half, 152 and a half. Sold 150, put them on McGee. Keep them separate, put them on number 10. Crippled cow, dollar bid, 105, and 105, here, good 105, good 5 and 10, good 10, good 15, 20, and 25, 30, good 35, 35, 40, 145, 45, 50, $1.50, good 50, good 50, good 50, good 50, and sold 145, CAVX. $10 years and 5 months. Cool little black baldy cow. 2100 and 21 and 2100. 2100. 21 here. 21, 21, 2 and 23, 3 and 23, 3 and 23, 3 and 4 and 24, 4 and 24, 2500. 5 here. 5, 600 and 25. Going to be 6, 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7. Jesus Shroud. 2700 and 27 and 27 and 7 and 7 and 7. Going to be 27. Going to be 27. Going to be 27 and 2700 now. Sold her. 2600 McGee. 26 on McGee. Here's a 5-year-old. She's 7 months bred. 2100 and 21 and 2100. 102 and 3 and 3, 4, 5 and 25, 6, 7 and 7 and 7 of 800. 8 and 9 and 25. 3 and 3,000. 3,000. 3,000 online, guys. You're out. 3,000 and 25. 3, 1 and 3,102 and 3,231. Going to be 231. Going to be 2. David Shout. 3,200. 3,200's out of bid. 32 3. 32 3, 4, 3,400, sold 3,300, done 44, 45. 3 no pun, $2. $2.05 and 205, 205 and 205 and 5 and 10, going to be 210, 15 now 15, 20 and 220 pound, 225 here, 225, 225, 30, 230, 235, 235, 40, 245, 245, 50, 255 and 55, 60 and 265 and 65, 70 and 270, 270, going to be 570, now 70 here, done, 265, 22. $2 a pound, 4 and open. 210.20 and 210.20, bit of a 210.20, 210.20, bit of a 210.20 and 210.20, gonna be 20, gonna be 20, 210.20 and 210.20, gonna be 20, gonna be 20, gonna be 29, 210, 220, Jesus, 210, Jesus. Six by 6. 2,500 and 25, you get 25 and 25, 25, 25, 26, 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 of 8 and 9 and 9, we get 3,000, we get 3,000 and 29, we get 3 and 29, we get 3,000 and 31 and 31, 2 and 31, 2, 3 and 33, 4 and 34, you get 33, 34, 33, we get 34, we're going to be 33, we get 400, sold her, 3,300, J. Martinez. 7x7. She's got a little rise in her back. She's got some long toes. $1.20. 125. You kind of a long toe man. 125. 30. I knew it. 130. 125. You get 30. 5. 40. 5. 145. So at 140 and tone. 25. $1.55 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60 and 55, 60 here, 55, 60 here, 65 and 65, 65, 65, 165, 170 and 175, 80 there, 85, 85, 90 here, 195 and 95, 2 and 2 pound, 2, 10, 2, 10, 20 and 2, 10, 20, 2, 20, 30 and 2, 20, 30, 40, we get 2, 40, we get 235 and 235, 40 and 245 and 45 here, 45 there, so 240, bow 9. 135 and 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37 and a half here, Jerry. 135 on 2. Kind of sleeping on her. Ricardo, you going to help Bailey Denny load his cows? 2 years and she's 5 months. 2,000, 2,100, 2,100, 2,100, 2,100, now 2, and 22, 3, and 4, 500, 600, and 26, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 800, and 20, hey, now 9, now 3, now 1, and 3,100, and 3,100, 1, here, Jay, 3,000. No, we quit celebrating those, but thank you. I didn't change it yesterday. Yeah. Thank you. 1x7. 2,100 and 21 and 2,100 and 2 and 2. We get 3. We get 4. We get 5. We get 6. Now 7. We get 8. We get 9. We get 3. Now 1 and 32 and 32, 33, 33, 34, 34, 34 and 35 and 35. We get 5. 35. We get 5. 35. We get 5. 35. So 3,400 done. 33. Roll Tide. 165 and 750 and 67 and a half here, 67 and a half here, so 165, Chris, 10x. One 35 and 35. 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35. We get 35. We get 35. We get 35, 40 and 45 and 45, 50 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 2.5, 5 and 55, 55, 57 of 57, 57, 60 and now 60, now 60 here. You're going to be 60 here. Cabinet's 157 and a half. Bullocks. $65. As it get divided, as it get divided, 7.5, 70, 100, 72 and a half, 75, 77 and a half, 750, and 77 now 80, and now 83, 80 bit 83, 82 and a half, good bit 2 and a half, good bit 2 and a half. Here sold 180, Chris 6. $135, and 35, you give out 35, 40, and 35, you get 40, 35, you get 40, 35, 45, 45, 45, 59, 55, 55, 65, and you get divided, and you get 70, and now 70 here, $70, you get 70, you get 70, sold 165, cabinets bull. Hey, who? Four years and she's 5 months, 2,000. 2,100 and 21 and 2,100, 21, 21, 21, 2100, 2 and 23, 3 and 23, 4 and 24, 5 and 25, 600 and 6, 7 and 7, 7, 7, 7 and out 7 and 27, going to be 27, going to be 27. You're out, you're out, you're out. 27 and 27 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 here. Jesus, 2,600. $8 years and 6 months, 2,100 and 21 and 2,100, 2,100, 21, now 2 and 22 and 22, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 25 and 2,500, 5 here, 2,500 and 2,500, 6 and 26, 7 and 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 7 halfway and 2,800, here, sold 2,700 on Davis. $4 years old here, $1.50. $1.50, 60, and 50, 70, 80, 90, 2, 10, 20, 220, 15, 20, and 225, and 225, 30, we get 35, 235, 40, and 240, we get 45, and 245, 50, and 250, we get 250, we get 255, and 55, 255, and 55 here, 5 here, 5 here, done. 250 on number 22. Bo, you and Kelly be back next week? Maybe. That's all you can say, right? Maybe. You guys leaving us already? No, not yet? Okay. $55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, blue white cow, 35, 40, and 35, and 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, 40, and now 40, 40, and 42 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 47, 47, 50, and now 52 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, Jerry, 150 on 2. Nothing. I did it yesterday. Go home, take a nap. I know it. Kids are out of school, so don't have to worry about picking them up. Probably out protesting again. Mustang. Mm-hmm.
I take my old pickup yesterday to Mustang, a diesel mechanic. Right there when you go on the, what is 81 Mingo, and then go east, and then go south. What is that street right there? It's a diesel mechanic with a black shop in the east side.
How old? 10-year-old. 152 and a half, 50, 2 and a half, 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 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 57, 50, 60, and now 60, and 63, 160, 60, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and to get and has a good 70, and now 70 is 5, and 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75 here, so 170 bow 1.
Right there from Taro. From Taro, going south, going to Mustang. About halfway.
Highway 4. Highway 4. You're going to Tuttle, going back into Mustang,
Yeah.
cross over the big bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The right side, yes, a mechanic, diesel mechanic right there. With the black, big old black shop. I take my pickup yesterday.
5 years, $2. 210 20 and 210 20, we get 210 20, we get 210 20, we get 210 20 and 220 and 210 20, good bit 20, bit of 20, good bit 20, good bit 20, bit of 20 30 and 230 40, we get 40 50 60 and 260 270, we get 270 Jesus Shroud 270 and 270, we get 70, we get 70, we get 70 Caleb 260 22 X 22X.
Yeah, I blow the engine last week with the auto to go on full.
Oh no, your white pickup? Your orange pickup?
The red one, yeah.
The red one?
I'm gonna get a new one.
So there's a diesel mechanic in Mustang, got a black
Right in the middle. In the middle, Taro,
between Tuttle and Mustang.
and your right, and when you go south, on your right side, there's a black shop. It says, everybody says it's pretty good. $10,000 for the diesel.
$135 and 35. You can 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, going to be 37, 50 and 37 and a half here. Crack the gate, 740 and half 42 and a half, 2 and a half, 42 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 250 and 42 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half here. Jerry, 140 on 2, 140. Ones and a 2 and a 3 and they're open. 250. 255, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 255, and 55, and 55 here. I'm going, boys, 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, bow, 250 on 1. Those last ones, same. 5 by 7. Or 9 by 7. And 5 and 7 months, guys. 9, 10 years old. 2100 and 21 and 2100. 21, now 2 and 22 and 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 25 and 2500 and 2500. 500. Here's 600 and 6, 7 and 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 7 online. You guys are out. 2700 and 27 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7. Going to be 27. Going to be 27. Going to be 27. Going to be 27. Davis. 2600. Davis. Got to buy a birthday cake later. 3s and 4s. $2 a pound, 210 and 210 and 210 20 and 210 20. We get 210 20, 210 20. Going to be 20. Going to be 20. Going to be 20. Going to be 20. Now 30 and 230. We get 225 30, 235, 235 40, 240. 240 and 240. We get 40. We get 40. We get 40. Online, you're out. 240 and 35 40. We get 40. 10 40. We get 40. We get 40. We get 40 here. Bo. 235 1. 1 and 2s are open. 250. 255, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, and now 5, and now 70, we get 275, and 75, give 80 there, 85, 90, now 90 here, 5, and 95, we get 95, we get 95, we get 95, Bo, 291. Hey, Rob, Valentine's is Saturday. Yeah. You going? You're going? Good. Yeah. That's Bo's favorite holiday. Huh? The parade? Nope. 4 and 5-year-olds. $2. 205 and 205. We get 5. We get 5. We get 5. Now 5 here outside. 205 and 205 and 10. Good to 10 and 15. 15 now 15 20 and 220 pound 220 220 220 down 20 and 25 and 225 30. We get 230. We get 235 and 235 here. 235. We get 35. We get 235 and 235 here. 5 here. 5 here. So about 230. Caleb 22. We'll never do anything for Valentine's. We never have. We just stay home and kind of young. Dollar. $5 and $105. We get 5 and 5 and 10. Going to be 10. We get 15. Going to be 20. We get 5. Going to be 30. We get 5. We get 35 here. 35 there. 35 here. 35 here. So 130 CAVX. Darcy always gets the kids something though. They want to go out. She's like, can we go out for Valentine's this year? Assume stay home. Good. Calcio over. Halftime. I didn't watch it last night. I didn't watch any of it. Well, I heard on the radio when I was listening to the Sports Animal this morning, they said if you knew Spanish, you could understand the halftime. None, huh? Well, too fast. Hmm. Well, I guess when they get caught back up, we'll sell the rest of them. So take a few minute break. Take a few minute break. 4-year-old guy, $2. 2-5 and 2-5. It'll get 5. It'll get 5. It'll get 5. It'll get 5. And a 5 here. 5 here. 5 here. Going to be 205 and 205 here. $75.80 and 75. Give 80. 75. Go to 80. 75. Go to 80. 75. Go to 80 here. Done. 175.22. Six years and 7 months. Who give 1,000? 1,000 and 1,000 here. Not 11 here. Not 1,200. Maybe to get 13. Maybe to get 14. Maybe to get 15. Going to be 1,600 and 1,700. 18. 18. 19. 18. 19 and 1,900 here. 19.2 and 2,001 and 2,100 here. 2,100 here. Yeah, Jesus. 2,100 now 2 and 2,102 3 and 2,3 and 2,3 going to be 2,3 and 2,300 here. Now 2,3 and 2,3 Bailey Denny 2,200. 2,200. Yep. She bred 8 years and 5 months. A little bit of red on her eye. $1.50. $1.55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 57 and a half. 57 and a half. 57 and a half. 7 and a half. 7 and a half. 57.50 and 57 and a half here. 57 and a half here. And a half here. 57 and a half. Sold 155 S7. Eight years and 6 months, 2,100 and 2,100 and 2,100, 2,100, 2, now 2, 23 and 23, 4 and 24, 5 and 2,500, 600 and 25, going to be 600 here, 25, going to be 2,600 and 25, going to be 2,600 now, 25, going to be 26, Jesus, 2,500. $1.52 and a half, and 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 60, and now 60 there, 60, and 60 here, 160, we get 60, we get 60 here, that's 157 and a half on 2. I can't. How are you? Good. One-year-old. 250. 255, 55, 55, 55, 60, and 65, 65, 65, 70, 270, 275, 80, 85, 85, 90, 85, 95, 95, 95, and 3, and 95, 3, and 95, 3, and 95, 3, 95, 3, Chris, 295, 7X. She was open. She was already open, wasn't she? You want her checked? Might as well. Yeah. Don't check her. Just put the. Just checked open. Okay. Put her on 8X. Okay. Yeah, checked open at home. Yeah. 8X. Pretty good little Charlotte bulls, guys. 185, 85 there, good to be 85 there, good to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, 85 here, 87, 90, and 90, good to be 90, good to be 90, 90 here, good to be 190, and 190 there, good to be 90, 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 good to be 90. Bo, 187 and a half on 5. You have Mel on these too? Pretty nice bulls. Got one bull. 135 and 35. You go 35, 35, 37, 37, 37. Going to be 40. We get 2 and a half. We get 5. We get 7 and a half. 50 and 2 and a half. We get 2 and a half. 5 and 55, 57, 57, 60 and 2 and a half. We get 2 and a half. We get 2 and a half. We get 2 and a half. 2 and a half. We get 2 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half here. S 160 on 4. How many babies you got back here?
9 by 5. 9 by 5.
9 by 5.
Yes, a little 5.
2100 and 2100 here 2100 here 21 here 2100 and 21 and 2100 here 1 here 2 and 23 we get 3 we get 3 4 and 24 now 5 now 6 now 7 and 27 and 7 7 out of line 27 800 and 27 going to be 2800 and 27 going to be 28 now 27 going to be 28 so 2700 Heinz H-E-I-N-Z H-I-N-D-S, Heinz. Thank you, sir. $55, 55, 55, 55, 75, 57, 57, 57, 57, 57, 57, 50, and 57 and a half here. That's 155 to. Antonio, you see baby calves?
Yeah, I see 2, 3 right there. Yeah.
Hey. Eight by 7, 2100 and 21 and 2100, 21, 21, 21, 2, we get 2, we get 3, we get 3, we get 4, we get 4, we get 5, we get 5, 600 and 6, 7 and 7, 8, 2800, 8, 9, we get 9 and 3000 and 3001 and 3100 here 31 and 3100 here Davis 3000. $55, 55, 55, 7, 60, and 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, we get 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 2 and a half, 5, and 65, 7 and a half, 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 750, and 67 and a half here, that's 165, 5. Tell him we got two calves and one brand new, and see which one he wants. Sorry, guys. $55, 55, 57 and a half, 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 60 down, 2 and a half, 5, and 7 and a half, 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 67, 50, and 67 and a half here, yes, 165, 2. A little crippled. She's 1 by 7. She's crippled. 1,500. 15 and a half, 15 and a half here, half here, half here, going to be 1550, and 15 and a half here, half here, who give 1,000, and 1,000 here, 11, you get 10, 11, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 12, and 12 and 13, we get 13, we get 14, we get 15, 16, 17, and 17, and 17, we get 17, we get 17, going to be 16, 17, and 1700 here, going to be 17, we get 17, Jesus, 1600. 10 by 7, 2100, and 21, and 2100, 2100, 21, come on, and 21, and 2100, 21, and 2100 here, 15 and a half, 15 and a half here, 16 and a half here, 17, 17 and a half, 18, 18, give 18, 1800 here, 18 and a half, 18 and a half, and 19, and 19, 1900 and a half, and 19 and a half, and 2, and 2050, and 2050 half here. Lewis, you've been awfully quiet today. 2050. Showtime. 2000. How old? 10-year-old, $1.50. 52.50, 50, you get 2 and a half, good with 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, good with 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 60. Now 60. Sold 57 and a half, Ricardo. You handle it? You. Okay. All three? No, just the 2. He just wants the 2. What's worth the money? That's a lot. 2,000? He was busy. He said, they're worth the money. Give me a couple. You get up here and handle it. Put them on clay 0. Hello. We put them on. Fired over 2 calves. 2 babies. Bless you. 135 and 35. You go about 35, 37, about 37, going to be 40, going to get 2 and a half, 5, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 50, and 55, and 55, 60, and $1.55, 60, here, 5, going to be 60, here, 55, 60, here, and tone, 155. Huh? Prager? Send, okay, center the shoot, Bred. 10-year-old. 135 and 35. You go about 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 40, another 40, you get 2 and a half, 45, 45, 47 and a half, 47, 50, and 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, and 55, 55, and 55 here, Jerry, 52 and a half, 2. I'm going to bring 3,000. 6 and open. $1.55. 55. You go 55, 55, 55, 57, 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7, 62 and a half, no food, 62.55. And you get 5 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70. And now 70, you get 70, you get 70, you're going to be 70, you get 70 here, 70 there, here, done. 167 and a half, 22. Never called Jason back, tell him to get more money. $55, 55, you go 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 57, about 60, and now 60, and 60, there, going to be 60, you're going to get 62 and a half, you're going to get 2 and a half, 5, and you get 5, and you get 5, 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 here, a little bit of cabinets, 162 and a half. Wind blowing outside? No. Is it supposed to be 80 today, isn't it? 35 and 35. You go about 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, going to be 37, 50, and 37 and a half here, 40, and now 40, you're going to get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be half here, going to be 2 and a half, you're going to get 2 and a half here, S, 143. 55, 55, you got 55, 55, 55, 7 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 57, 50, and 57 and a half, 60, and down 2 and a half, bit of 2 and a half, bit of 2 and a half, bit of 2 and a half, 5, and to get 5, and has to get 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 67, 50, and 67 and a half, here, half here, that's 165, 2. Hold. 10. 52 and a half, 5, 55, you got 55, 55, 55, 55, 2 and a half, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 60, and now 60 there, 60, we get 62 and a half, we get 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, we get 250, and 62 and a half here, half here, Chris, 160 on 20. $55, 55, you got 55, 55, 55, 55, 7, 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 55, 35, 30, 40, and 35, 40, and 35, 42 and a half, 2 and a half, 45, 47 and a half, 50, and 52 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 60, and now 60, D, 157 and a half, 2. $135, 35, you got 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, going to be 37, going to be 37, 40, and 42 and a half, 45, 45, 45, 47, 47, 47, 50, and 40, 50, and 52 and a half, 52 and a 5, and 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, so 155, D2. $55, 55, you got 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 60, and 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, you get 5, 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 now 5, you get 5, 750, and 7 and a half, now 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, and now 72 and a half, going to be 72 and a half, going to be 72 and a half here, Chris, 170, 10. $120, 125, and 25, and 25, 25, 25 here, and 30, and 25, you get 35, 35, 40, 40, 5, 45, you get 5, 45, tight your out, 45, and 45, 50, $1.50, 50, you get 50, you get 50, you get 50, you get 50, there, 50 and a half, 50, you get 50, you get 50, you get 50, here's on 145, Cavaness 9. Ten-year-old cow, 125, and 25, 30, and 25, 30, and 30, now 30, and 35, 35, 35, 40, we get 40, we get 5, we get 45, 50, we get 50, now 45, 50, Jerry, 145, 2. $0.50 a pound. 60 cents a pound. 70, 80, 90, 90. Did you give 85. Burns 83. Good luck to you, Roy.
Family time, John.
Familia.
Familia.
Familia. Six and 7-year-old pairs, guys. 3,000, 32.50, and 32 and a half, and 32 and a half, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 7 and a half, 37 to 4, and 4,000, I'm going to get 4,000, I'm going to get 4,000, 489, and 39, and 30, hey, good 900, 30, hey, 39, 38, give 9, and 30, hey, good 900, good 9, good 9, good 9, good 9, 4, and 4,000, and 4,000, hey, took minute, 39, going to be 4,000, David Shroud, 4,000, 4,000, 4,100, 41, and 41, and 42, and 4,200, 4,200, going to be 2. Yost, 4,100. 9-year-old pair, 3,000. 31, and 3,100, 3,100, 31, and 31, and 3,100, 3,000, 1, and 3,100, 25, and 26, 7, and 7, 7, 800, 9, 3, and 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, 1, and 31, and 3,100, Jerry out, 31, and 3,100, 1, more. 3,000. That's all I wanted for. Straight. I got Clay handling it. I got to get him on the phone. $5 a pound. 510. If I 10, got it. 510. Yeah, 10. 510. Get 510. Get 510. Get 510. And 10. 510. Get 510. Get 510. Going to be 510. Terry, $5 on 2. No, by the weight. $6 a pound. $6 a pound. 6.10 a pound. 6.10. Terry, $6. 2. Next one we're going to ask $7 a pound. We're going to keep going up. $6 a pound. 6.10. Yeah, 10 or 10 here. Going to be 6.10 here. Going to be 6.10. And down here. Going to be 10. Going to be 10. Going to be 10. Going to be 10. 6.10. 10. 10 here. Going to be 10. Terry, $6. 7. 7. Huh. Just because its ear tag it says 7? Yeah. I guess. Heifer calf, $6 a pound. 6.10. 6.20. 6.10. 6.20. Sold 6.10. Lewis. Straight. cow sale over.
Should be two little bouquets. You got one more? Boy or girl?
Is this a bull?
Yeah, a little boy, a little younger behind.
Just bring them both in.
Get them both.
Yeah.
2 good bull calves, guys. $500. 550, 5 and a half here, 5 going to be 650, and 700 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 850, 8 and a half, 8 and a half, 950, 9 and a half, 9 and a half, 10, 1,000, and 1,000 here, 1,000 here, 1,050, and 10, 50, 11, 1,100, 1,100, 1,100, 1,100, 1,100, 1,100 and a half, 1,150, 11 and a half here, 11 and a half, 11 and a half, 1,150, 11 and a half here, 11 and a half, 11 and a half, 11 and a half, going to be 1,150, 11 and a half here, half here, clay. 1,100 on 0. Yes.
Yard out the black one.
Yard them out. Good calves. You be back next Monday?
I'll need a bunch of them.
That Condo? That you, Condo? Hi. How are you, sir? Good seeing you. She young? 1 year old with a baby at side. 3,000. 32.50 and 35 and 35, 37 and 37 and 4,000, 4,000, going to be 9, going to be 9, going to be 9, going to get 39, 4 and 4,000, going to get 4,000, 41 and 41 2 and 41 2, 42, Bo, you're out, 42 3 and 43, going to get 43, going to get 3, 43, going to get 3, 43, going to get 3, Davis is in at 42, now 3, 43, 4, 44, 5, 45, 45. 4,500 and 4,500, 5 here, 5 here, did you get 5? Sold him 4,400 on Davis.
Get ready, Casey. That's the young one. Good one. Just put it down. Just put it down.
Don't $100 by the head. Brand new baby. 150, 200 and a half, and 2 and a half, get 3, get 50, get 40, get 50, get 5, get 50, 600 and a half, and 657, and 707 here, going to be 7, get 7, going to be 7, get 7, going to be 700, and 700, and 7 here, 750, 750, 800, $800, 800, 800. Kelsey, you looking? You're not looking? 800. Lewis, $750. Goodbye, Lewis. Maybe. Condo, how in the world are you, man? You looking good? I know, you haven't been here in a while. He's looking green? Yeah, he's looking green. He's a good man right there. All the way to the trailer. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for our cow sale today. Thank you, buyers, for being here. We'll do it again back tomorrow, 9 o'clock in the a.m. Have a good day.